rankings. Don't we all love power rankings, especially for the top 14 teams in the league, otherwise known as playoff teams? Bucks, whatever. As for 14, gonna go with the Seahawks here. Pretty solid team, obviously. They made it to the playoffs, but they really have not been great as of late. And yeah, so I think the Seahawks are going to be down at 14, and with one of the harder playoff matchups, obviously, you see where I have the 49ers. Don't think the Seahawks will go far. As for 13, I got the Dolphins. Just with the so much uncertainties when it comes to Tua and his health. That defense really isn't great, and I don't know how well the Dolphins really match up with any team. As for number 12, got the Bucks here, mainly because of Tom Brady. Their roster is not probably not even better than the Dolphins, but I think Tom Brady kind of he's the GOAT for a reason, and maybe he could make a run at beat a certain team. At number 11, got the Jaguars. I mean, I think this is kind of high for the Jaguars, but the three teams that below them aren't very good. So I think that the Jaguars get it. Are 11. Because it seems like some of these teams are weak. And so those are my 14 through 11, where I think these teams. Okay, no, 14, 10 through 14. So Giants would be included in that. I'm kind of breaking them up in subdivisions. You'll see. Giants are not amazingly talented, but they do have great coaching. I guess you can say the same for the Jaguars, but they probably have worse coaching and better talent. But I think the Giants are just a better team overall. Yeah. So, well, this is playing like it. So, 10 through 14, those five teams that we just mentioned, long shots. What do I mean by long shots? It'd be really impressive if they somehow make a playoff run and they don't make a run in playoffs, and I really don't expect them to. Coming in at number 9, it's kind of controversial if they're in that long shot group or not, but I'm not going to put them there. The Dallas Cowboys, obviously the coaching ain't great. The record is great, but the defense has been a bit lackluster as of late. Dak Prescott has had his worst season ever, so really, they're not looking too good, but they got a chance with the talent. As for number 8, got the Baltimore Ravens there. They've really just been questionable as of late, especially without Lamar Jackson. But with Lamar Jackson, they are an okay team that can possibly make a run. So, yeah. Coming in at number 7, I got the team that everyone's calling frauds, the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have obviously been called frauds, and that's for a good reason. They might not be too good, but the talent says otherwise. Talent's pretty solid, and they did well during this year, obviously. So I think the Vikings at 7 is good. As for 6, team that's even more talented, but their coach is worse, is the Chargers, who really, with the QB that they got, they can make some things happen. They got playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. They got playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. They really just lack a good coach. So I think the Chargers are a good team. And yeah. So that's that category. 6 through 9, so those 4 teams. They are conference contenders. That means they're a contender for a conference championship game. Could possibly make a run at one, but they're probably going to be knocked out in the first or second round. But they could go all the way, realistically speaking. But not long shots like the other group. And then top 5 are my Super Bowl contenders. Coming in at number 5, I get the Philadelphia Eagles, who have the best record. I just think experience ain't great. Defensively they got pretty good experience, but offensively, I mean, they weren't even too good against the Giants team that was resting half of the starters. Jalen Hurts, is he still banged up? We don't know if he's playing through an injury, but I mean, he wasn't spectacular. He also wasn't bad the last week of the season. This team has looked more and more questionable as the season has gone on. Number 4, got the team that I think has a lot of momentum, obviously because of the whole Damar Hamlin situation, and that is the Bills, who are playing for Damar Hamlin, obviously. I just think that the Bills, they got a good roster, but I don't think it's good enough. Good coaching and a great QB, but I just don't think it's the Bills' year. A lot of people still think it's the Bills' year. I'm not one of those people that think it's the Bills' year. Yeah, I'm just not really feeling the Bills for some reason. At number 3, got the Bengals, who I'm feeling a bit more than the Bills. Yeah, quarterback's pretty similar, coaching pretty similar. I think it's just the Bengals have more playmakers on offense, and then obviously the defenses I think are similar, especially with Von Miller out. You could argue the Bengals is better. As for number 2, we got the best defense in football, the San Francisco 49ers, almost said San Francisco Giants. Yeah, amazing defense, and the offense has tons of playmakers, and that's really what you need. And number 1, should be no surprise, is the Kansas City Chiefs, who have been there, done that, best player in the league, best QB in the league, best coach in the league, arguably, best tight end in the league. They got a lot of best in the league. So yeah, that's why I think the Chiefs are the number 1 team going into playoffs. And I think we'll update this after every week, but the Chiefs and the Eagles don't play, so should be interesting where I put them. Next week we'll see if a team really goes off, like the Bengals, Bengals, Bills, or 49ers. But yeah, the top 5 are all Super Bowl contenders, and if you think they would win the Super Bowl, I don't blame you. 6 through 9, if you think they can make a wild conference championship appearance, I also don't blame you. That is very possible, and they are capable of doing that. And as for 10 through 14, those teams, they're not going anywhere.